Well, hello everyone. For those of you that won't have seen the first transmission today, I may not transmit it actually at all. This is the second go. I was called to actually come to bat, and I'm afraid I batted for quite a long time, didn't make very many runs, so I find myself once again at the boundary walking around. We're reasonably late in the innings at the moment. We've got Adam and Jack at the wicket here. Being as we are 91 for 7 at the moment, so not the best performance I'm afraid so far, but conditions are quite difficult in the sense that the ground is favouring the bowlers, it would seem, and we'll have to soldier along. They've got their tails up, of course, and so I'll walk around with the camera trained on the game, and we'll just have a little update on the recent events. So last week's game against Ken first team was rained off. And the second team against Ken was played to the first innings conclusion, which was Ken's innings, and then part-way into the Chagford response when the heavens opened and that concluded the game. Ken's wicket at Trehill was quite wet in parts, and because their ground is on a slight slope, they had a bit of an issue with rain sheeting off the ground and going from the covers underneath the covers to the wicket itself. So one end of the wicket was quite damp apparently. But nevertheless, the game I was played in good spirits, and there were some pretty notable performances from the bowling side, from Chagford's bowling, but there you are. So the first team didn't play last week, and the week before we travelled to Lustley, to their very picturesque ground, and we found ourselves on the end of a loss there, I'm afraid. Didn't quite get ourselves off to a good start, unfortunately. That's a good shot through the cover area there, and from Adam, and where they're taking 3 runs, which is excellent. That's a great piece of attacking batting there from Adam, taking no prisoners at all. So look, it's a little windy, a little bit of a breeze. Hopefully that doesn't interrupt anything I have to say today, but we'll carry on. I can't keep moving at the moment because the bowling is coming from the end I'm walking past, and there's that problem with going past the bowler's arm, of course. And that's Andy Gawler bowling there from Tavistock, an old stager of the parish of Tavistock, a bit of a spinster, I think. I don't know, maybe he is, maybe he's not. I say that in jest, but he's a gruff old campaigner of these many years for Tavistock, and he's batting and he's bowling to Jack at the moment, and that ball was just glanced away behind square for the single. Is fielded smartly. Now they've turned it into 2. Excellent, very good piece of running that from those 2 players. That's quite excellent. The advantage of youth. There we are. So so we come to playing Tavistock at home. We played them over at their ground, which I hope you saw my contribution there, which went in through their history a little bit. But as things stand, as I say, they're a little bit further down the league than we are at this moment in time. But they're fielding with a slightly depleted side this week, I think, owing to the current pandemic situation, on account of they have only 10 players, but they're still competing pretty well, it has to be said. We must give them all credit for that. So we stand at 97 for 7 at the moment, with 20 overs remaining in our innings. I would like to say it's a firm base on which from which to operate, but we could have done with losing perhaps 2 or 3 less wickets, really. But this happens. That's cricket, and we must be grown up about it, and obviously will be. So there we are. We've got to go out and try hard in the field, of course. So there we go, and that then is the over, and we can then move on, because what I would like to show you now, as we move past the sight screen that you can see here as we move by, that there is the visitors' coaching shed for the footballists, I think, and they don't take that away in the summertime, and as you can see, no one makes their home within, which is a great relief to us all, I think. But there we are. So I was going to come along and show you the progress of the 3-lane nets. Now, as you recall, the last time that I walked this way, there were lots of machines on it and levelling machinery and so on and so forth, and the curbs were being put in and so on. Well, those curbs have now gone in, nearly completely, and the levelling is gone on. And as you can see, oh, the wrong way, that's not very clever, is it? As you can see now, the posts are going in to separate the lanes out, and it's very clear now that this, of course, is a three-lane net. Quite excellent. And it's possible to see here as well that we have some undersealing there. I don't know whether it's a soaking membrane. It looks like it's made of material. I couldn't say. I'm not being a builder. I couldn't really say. But there's a membrane going down there, and then above that there is stone of a slightly finer grade. I don't know whether more stone will be placed above that. I rather suspect it will be. And then I would imagine, I don't know for certain, but I would imagine then that the green artificial grass will go down. And then after that, the uprights, the verticals, the framework will then go up and have the netting placed upon it from there. As I say, still looking quite likely to be played on, this year, I would say. So we'll move back. Just a quick view of the. And he's spilt that. It's a catch out to square leg. That's been spilt. That's now one run. He's admonishing himself there. He's not happy dropping that at all. Of course he wouldn't be. Nobody would be. And he's fielding just underneath the oak tree here, which you can see. There it is. Let's just train our eyes on the ground here. More runs coming here, turning round quickly and running for that second. There we go. Ball comes in, and Webber, the wicketkeeper, he fields that. He collects it up, tidies it all up, and the over is complete. So let's just walk around a little bit here and just say a few words about the play as it goes on. Two batsmen now come along to the centre of the track here to speak to each other. Always good to keep that communication going. It's a very, very useful thing to do. Obviously in the background you can see the clubhouse here. I don't know whether the bar isn't yet open. The restrictions are easing as time goes by, so they might be. Maybe a glass of the foaming ale a bit later in the day. So as the players ready themselves for the next over, Adam standing there waiting for his to receive the first ball of the next over. We'll just wait and see here. Andy Gawler there waiting. Wily old campaigner there. There he is. He's waiting, and he runs in. Trundles in, he does, one after the other, overcomes his arm and delivers his ball. And it's defended stoutly. There's a slight appeal for leg before wicket, but that's denied by umpire Taylor, and keeper returns the ball to Mr. Gawler, who saunters back to his mark, polishing one side so that he can perhaps get it to swing. He has been swinging it just a little bit of a lazy swing there, just enough to cause a problem. That's what you need here. So he comes in once again, approaches the bowling crease and bowls, and that's played firmly straight back to him by Adam off the front foot there, there is no run. So we'll keep walking here. Hopefully the wind doesn't get in the way. I can hear it in my ears, but remains to be seen what it sounds like on the microphone of the camera today. But we'll see anyway, won't we? So, and the ball played smartly out to mid-off, slightly airy, but too wide for Andy to catch, and it's a dot ball, so there is no run. I'll see if I can perhaps get past the sight screen, so I don't get stuck here for the next over. Mr. Gawler's fairly leisurely in his run-up, so I ought to be able to do that, even though I'm an old soul. It was bowled. Adam, stout in defence, plays off the front foot there, sends it out to the mid-on fieldsman, and again no run. So he's picking his shots here. It's nice to see. Just watch from behind the batsman's shoulder today at this point, and that was just a slight drift away, that ball, and Adam saw it was away from the stumps and chanced to have a little shy at it. Didn't quite catch any part of it, and was collected by the wicket-keeper, who's standing up. He's applying pressure there himself. So there we go. I'll keep walking here, I think. It's probably the best thing, don't you think? So ball is bowled and played out, and there we go. There's runs there. So out to the deep extra cover player for a single there, and the over is complete. So there we are. Made it past what's going to be the bowler's arm now. As we wander round, somewhat unusually, going the other way this week, as the more observant of you may have noticed. And the other thing to perhaps point out is the artificial wicket on the pitch is now completed. That's been allowed to settle, and we have in fact practiced on it. It plays quite nicely, which is good news. So the facilities are really coming along here. We can look at just for a short while at the nets here, which are slightly dark there, being as they're under this rather large oak tree there, you can see. And I would imagine those will still get used from time to time, but they've perhaps had their day now. And there we are. So just take a look at what's going on here again. And that was the first ball of the over, just bowled there, and Adams played that over the short extra cover fielder for a quick single there, which they've taken. Bowler comes in, and that's hit away towards the deep mid-wicket fieldsman for another single. So if they collect a run a ball for 15 or so overs, that's going to make the score quite accommodating, quite convincing. Quick look at the scoreboard here reveals that we are 107 for 7. So in the time that I've wandered around the pitch here, we've moved on to 107, as I've said, with 17 overs remaining. So we'll call a halt to it today. I did do some footage at Ken of the second team last week, but it's quite long and rambling, so I may clip some parts of that out and leave you with a final product, which hit away into the leg side there. There'll be 3 at least there, I would say, as it's a big boundary there, probably running for 4. And Adams coming back. Are they going to take it? No, they're going to just leave it at 3. So anyway, yes, I'll see if I can cut some of the footage down so that it's not quite so biblically long as it was in its original form, and we'll perhaps publish that a bit later today alongside this piece of footage as well. But until then, I'll bid you all goodbye and see you next week, and hope you all have a nice time. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye now.